Hello my marvellous guardians, and welcome back to another easy guide for the legend lost sectors, and this time we're looking at the K1 Communion, which is on the moon in the Anchor of Light. Now this is quite a difficult one, and it's quite a lengthy one too, so you might find yourself running out of time at the end. Now if you reach the time limit, which is 15 minutes, it doesn't just boot you out, but what happens is the revives that you've accrued by killing champions as you go through it, they get wiped to zero, so you've got basically one life to finish it if you pass the 15 minutes. So that's something worth thinking about. And now let's have another quick look at the modifiers for this particular lost sector. So we've got Arachno, which means that when defeated, fallen vandals spawn a web mine at their feet. These are a huge pain in the arse, and you'll find them all over the place, and the little mines with the red lights on them, and when you shoot them up they produce a slow effect. But when the mine pops, you can destroy it when it's like in an orb shape, or you can destroy it when it's on the ground. I'd advise you do that just to stop yourself getting so incredibly frustrated. Okay, next we've got fallen champions. Now they've got barrier and overload champions, so I'm going to cover that in my mod uptake in a little bit. The legend modifiers, we've got locked loadout as usual, match game as usual, which means that you have to shoot with the matched element in order to make any decent amount of damage. And then we've also got extra shields as well, which is nice for them, isn't it? Extra shields, yes, bar stewards. Anyway, we also got memory of a haunted dream, which means incoming void and aerial damage is increased. We've got isolated flames, which is plus 50% solar damage dealt and received. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't really take much advantage of that in the way I've got my loadout here, but I'll explain why as I go on. And then we also, like I said before, we've got the limited revives. So let's have a quick look at the old loadout situation. So I've decided to go stasis for this particular one, so we can slow the buggers down, because it's quite a difficult one, I found this one. So anything that gives you a breather, I think, is a good advantage. And then we've got a sniper rifle here now for the barrier champions, because it takes down the shields basically in one shot, which then holds them open for you to go and give them extra kick-ins. So that's really handy. Now I've gone with Le Monarque, yes, for my secondary weapon, because it's the best way I've found so far for the overload champions. Now the Tigger's Divination is really good, and also there is 50% extra damage for solar on this particular lost sector, but I found this better, to be perfectly honest, because there are servitors in there with void shields, and they can be very difficult and incredibly annoying, because of course they shield nearby enemies, and if they've got a void shield and you ain't got a void weapon, you're going to be in trouble, and it's going to take you forever to sort them out. So this is my solution to that. And then I've got my crowd pleaser grenade launcher. Clown cartridge, of course, is very, very handy because it overloads, it over-reloads, as it were. And it's also got the chain reaction perk on there, which didn't really come to my attention until the salvage's salvo. But what it means is each final blow will create an elemental explosion, which passes on to others, and they'll have an elemental explosion if they die as well. So it can end up being a nice chain reaction for you. I've also got spike grenades on you as well, which gives you an extra bit of wallop with a direct hit. I'm gonna go and have a look at the mods I've got here. So I've basically put mods on that will give me an advantage with my grenade launcher and with my targeting. So I've got scout and sniper rifle targeting there, and I've got a grenade launcher ammo finder. Now what I've gone for here, of course, as you know, I've gone for the anti-barrier sniper. One shot, take the shields down, is brilliant. And then there's the overload bow for those bloody annoying champions. I've gone for grenade launcher reserves on my chest piece, but I've also gone for high energy fire to give me a little bit more kick when I've gotten a charge of light. And I've gone to get the charge of light, I've got the shield break charge, which gets me charged with light as well. And the bulwark finisher is quite handy, because if you do a finisher, then it will give you an overshield, which is an extra little bit of protection, which is bloody marvellous. And then finally, of course, I've got grenade launcher scavenger on as well. Right, let's get on with our little walkthrough then, so I can give you the best advice I can on the major areas that are going to overcome. So the first room is relatively simple. You've got dregs and you've got some marauders and things like that. You can get quite overwhelmed and killed here quite easily, so take your time, use your cover, use your bows, whatever you're using. Like you can see, I'm using my Monarch here. But there is a barrier champion who appears, which is a servitor, and they can be incredibly annoying, so of course you're going to need to use your sniper rifle to take them out. So I've used one shot to get him to bring his shield up. Once his shield pops, another shot will stagger him, and then I flick to my power weapon to finish them off. Look how many times I missed. What a squint idiot. But about 4 4 direct hits seem to sort him out with me old crowd pleaser there. And then that's the barrier servitor dealt with, and anybody else you need to mop up. Now we're going to be moving into one of the major rooms of the Lost Sector next. You've got a few dregs and things just hanging about. Make sure you mop up any ammo that you've had drop too. Now this next room can be a real time drainer. Remember I said at the beginning you can end up overrunning by 15 minutes. So don't be dawdle in here too much, but it's quite a lot to do. So first of all, you've got a lot of shanks and knob ends like that to take care of. So shoot as many of them obviously as you can, because what happens is that they fan out into the room and go into cover, and then it's more difficult to find them. So the first thing that I want to point out is this servitor here who's got a void shield, which is what led me to choose my monarch in the first place, because he's shielding everybody as well, so I just wanted to take him out as quickly as possible. But also we've got vandals who run up on this gantry right at the very back, and they take pot shots at you the whole time. So they are your next priority, and once you kill the first wave of vandals, another wave jumps in and jumps down into the middle of the room. Now as we begin hacking and slashing our way through the gits, we get a barrier champion appears who will also cast a shield on other people. Look, you can see how easy it is to get overwhelmed. I got completely mangled there by some vandals, so they are the biggest pain when you're up the end here, so to speak, misses. So just take your time, not too much time, use your cover. Then once you've cleared out a lot of them, you want to start concentrating then on the barrier champion. Now I'm about to make a classic mistake here. I'm not paying any attention to how many rounds I've got loaded. So by the time I've reloaded, look, he's put his shield up, and then I've got to start all over again. So I did the ballsy move of simply getting up a grenade launcher and pummeling the swine to death on my way up. But, you know, you might not be able to get the kill that way. Look, he's gone again, and I made the same mistake again, and I'm dead again. Oh my god, it's so incredibly annoying. This is what eats the time. So with all that in mind, this is the way I recommend you do it. Once you've cleared out enough of the additional enemies, you want to go up this alleyway to the right here. You can just see it there. Occasionally you can have some enemies in there too, so just take them out. And you're going to be close to the barrier servitor. So use your non-barrier weapon to take him down. In this case, it's my bow. Once he pops the shield, flick your anti-barrier weapon to take the shield down and stun him, and then smash his face in with your power weapon. And that's them gone. Of course, you could do it any which way you want, but that is the textbook way of doing it. So don't forget to mop up your ammo and pick up any orbs and then continue on. Now this next room, you've got some invisible marauders there that you need to take out, but you want to keep your overload bow on, because you're going to have an overload champion coming through this doorway. So I lurk down this end of the room, and it's pretty quick really to deal with him, because even though you're not directly hitting him, the damage that you're giving him from the poison actually acts as a staggering mechanic. So once you shoot him with the monarch, he's pretty buggered, and I get out my grenade launcher and voila, he is gone nice and quick, which is quite rare for overload champions, because they can be a huge pain, because when they teleport, they then increase their health incredibly quickly. There's those mines that those bloody vandals are dropping that I was telling you about earlier. They are everywhere. Be careful not to get slowed down by them. Okay, so mop up the last few bell ends on your way in, and this is the final room. Now, it's quite a big battle, this, and it's got a couple of stages to it, really, I think. So first of all, you've got an overload champion who's going to lurk around this doorway. You'll see him either running in front of you from the right or the left. There he is! So once you see him, make sure, well, you kill him the first thing you do, because they can be an enormous pain in the ass. So stun him, and then get out your power weapon, and finish them off nice and sharp, like this. There we go, he's dead. Now then, you're going to be mopping up a lot of additional enemies before you instigate the main boss phase. So you want to take your time. You can use this room that I'm in here now as cover if you're having a bit of a panic and you're getting overwhelmed and slaughtered. Keep an eye on your time too. What am I on there now? I think I'm on about 8 minutes or something like that. So we've only got a few minutes, 7 minutes left to complete this. So it's going to be tight, to be perfectly honest with you. Unless, of course, you're a Destiny god and you wander in and just kill it all with your eyes shut. You'll know when you're approaching the boss phase because this large fat shank turns up. So you've got to destroy them, and killing that shank instigates the boss coming into the room. You can see now I'm coming up to 11 minutes, which I've only got 4 minutes to make use of my revives. So it is getting quite tight already. Well, anyway, once that chap's killed, you'll see the boss come, who is a massive captain type chap. So you want as much cover as possible, really. So I run back around to where we came into the lost sector, because there's that room you can always retreat back into if you're getting a bit poop your pants nearly deaded, which happens quite a bit in this. Now, once you start beating him down, what's going to happen is he's going to move, and he tends to move in a clockwise direction. So once I've got his health down, I think it's to that first bar level there, he's going to start sodding off. See, here he comes, look, down here. So don't fight him head on, because you're going to have a swarm of gits there. So what I'm tending to do is go opposites. So I'm coming up here onto this gantry, and then I'm going to stand and shoot him from where he used to be standing. You can see we've got servitors there again who will cast the shields, which is so annoying. So make sure you use some void damage to take them out, to get them out of your life. I can't stand them. Look, it says Venus on the monitor there. Ooh, that's interesting. We're going back to Venus soon, I reckon. That never used to be there, you know, until Beyond Light, so there we go. There's loads of shanks taking pot shots at you, so make sure you take them down. I've got my power weapon out, giving him a bit of a pummeling there. More bloody vandals. They are the worst. They can take you out so quick, so be careful. What am I on? 13 minutes, 50 seconds. So I've got 1 minute, 10 seconds before my revives are wiped out. There's those bloody mines again. I can't stand them. Now, he's moved around to the other side of the room, so of course I'm hiding where he used to stand. And then you can take pot shots at him from here. Don't forget to give yourself a bit of cover too. I've got my super there. I don't know if this is a mistake, but I'm taking the risk, because I've got revives before the time runs out. 14 minutes 30. Oh my god, this was a bloody risk. Right, okay. Oh, he smashed the arse off me there, and now I haven't got time to do anything else. So, okay, I've got full shields, but you can see what I do. I'm retreating back into the room just because I've got a bit of a mild panic on and he's nearly dead. And I'm not going to be able to kill him before the time's up. Oh my god, this is really close to the wire. That's that barrier servitor who turns up at some point during it. It's kind of at the last knock-ins of the encounter. You'll see him just floating there in the background. And the boss has retreated round to where he is as well. So we're kind of back around to where we started, at the front entrance of the room, and just taking pot shots at him from there. He can be shielded, of course, by the barrier servitor. But what can happen as well is that he can wander out of range of the barrier servitor. So be careful that you're not shooting him when he's shielded. Okay, time's up. My revives have just reset to 0. So now I've got to take him out or I'm dead. If I die, that's it. I've got to start all over again. And I found myself in this situation quite a lot in this lost sector. So, you know, it can be quite difficult. But I did it about 6 or 7 times. So, you know, it's something that if you take your time and there's plenty of cover, you want to be super cautious once your revives are gone too, of course. I had a bit of luck here on this run, actually. As I was targeting the barrier servitor, I managed to stun it with a thing, but then look, it just plops off the edge down into the pit and dies, which breaks the shield and then allows me to kill old git features. Now, this is where you can get complacent, look, because let's just take him out, boom, there we go, he's dead. But some of the ads remain, so it's entirely up to you whether you want to mop them up or not, but be careful, because when I've run to get the cash chest in order to get my reward, you get these exploder shanks who follow up behind you. Look at them, it's terrifying. Oh my god, yeah. Look there, oh my goodness me, it's terrifying. There we go, take them out. It doesn't matter about the time anymore because you've got the big boy down. Pick off what you need, but be so careful about those exploders at the end. They buggered me up so many times, it's unbelievable. So you can either make a dash for the cash, or you can take them all out. It's entirely up to you. You can see here, I'm mopping them off, and once most of them are gone, I think there's only one dreg left, the light changes back to normal, and you're no longer in danger, but I think I'm just mopping him up for safety. There we go, they've actually de-rezzed, so it doesn't matter. So there we go, pop over and get the cash. And that is that lost sector. So it can be quite tricky to do, but believe me, take your time and you'll get there in the end. And if anybody's interested, I got an Icefall Mantle for doing that, which is the same one that I got the last time I did it, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. But never mind, eh? Now, I hope you found the video useful, and if you did, a like and a subscribe would be fantastic. And also, if you're feeling very generous, you can buy me a coffee by popping over to my Buy Me a Coffee page and, you know, chuck a couple of quid my way so I can purchase some sand to eat for me and my children. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you all again very soon. Sausage out.